Hi, this is a story on how I made $30,000 selling this design during my first 3 months on Etsy.
And it went like...
Hi everyone! So this is my first YouTube video and I actually just recorded all of it and I wasn't filming. That's cool. I'm a normal girl. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, so doing this YouTube video is a little out there for me, but I really want to share my experience with all of you and hopefully inspire some people to do the same. So I am going to get started. I've always wanted to start my own business. In college, I tried making a Etsy selling jewelry, and I'll post some images up on the screen. It wasn't very successful. I had a few sales from my family and friends, but that's about it. Later on in college, I tried starting an Etsy selling candles, and that wasn't very successful either. I basically just smelled up my whole apartment with candles and made my boyfriend, now husband, very angry, but that's okay. For Christmas in 2018, I asked for a Cricut machine, which is a vinyl cutting machine, from my husband. Side note, my birthday is the day after Christmas, and Christmas came around and I didn't get the Cricut, which is very unfortunate because I already started my Etsy account. And then my birthday came and I got the Cricut from my husband, and he always makes it a point to make my birthday special. So right when I got my Cricut, I knew I wanted to create a company, and I had a stupid name for my Etsy. I'm not going to even mention it because it's silly. So after some time, I put a few t-shirts up in my store, and I am a fan of this podcast. It's called Scrubbing In with Becca Tilley and Tanya Rad, and their whole mantra is being a modern woman, which means you are independent, you do your things your own way, and I just love the definition of a modern woman. And they have a Facebook group, and so I posted it in the Facebook group, and I went to bed. The next morning, I woke up and I had like 20 sales for that shirt, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, dang, maybe this really could be a thing. Maybe it's not like all of my other failures that I've had. So I was like, I need to get some branding, I need an Instagram, I need a logo, I need a name. So I came up with Letters and Lucy. My dog, her name is Lucy, and she is my baby. I love her. So then I was thinking of other popular things I could sell in my store, and my favorite TV show is Vanderpump Rules, and my favorite character from that show is Stassi Schroeder. In season 1, she was kind of bratty, emotional, she was a crazy girlfriend, and that made me think of the idea to make a shirt that said Mood Season 1 Stassi. And now she's more grown up, she's evolved, so now it's funny to look back on season 1 Stassi compared to now because she's so different. I put this shirt on my Etsy, and once again I posted in the Stassi podcast Facebook group. And I went to bed, didn't think anything of it, woke up the next morning, and I had like 30 sales. And again, that blew my mind because I didn't expect that. It was amazing. I started to think, wow, I could probably make this an actual career. And I was way far from that, but in my brain I thought that I could really make this something. I had a normal 9-to-5 job, and I would come home, work on these shirts. It definitely didn't replace my income, but it was nice side money. I told my family and friends, but I was scared they would think, oh, this is just something else Bailey's doing, because I've tried to make my own business happen a few times, but in my head I knew this was the real deal, and I thought I could really make it happen. I went onto Facebook and I saw this girl that bought one of my shirts. She posted a picture in the Stassi Facebook group, and Stassi commented on it, and I'll post that picture. She said something like, oh, I need this for when I'm feeling bitchy. My heart stopped. And I tried Instagramming her, DMing her, and she never looked at my message, but I was like, oh well, at least she like saw my shirt. Pretty cool. A couple weeks went by. I was at work and I got a notification that Stassi bought from my store, which was insane to me. I thought this was a joke. I thought someone was playing a joke on me, and I didn't really fully believe it till later on. I called my husband, I called my sister, and I was like, do you think this is real? It's from West Hollywood, like it might be real, I'm not sure. Time went on, I sent her package, I put a little note in the package, I'll put that on the screen, and I asked her to post on her Instagram. And I knew that probably wouldn't happen, but you know, you have to shoot your shot. I checked every day to see if her package was delivered. One day it was, and a couple days went by and she never, posted or anything like that. And then one day I was in bed, I had my wine like normal, I took my melatonin, going to bed, and I was on social media, on Instagram, and I saw that Stassi posted her fiance wearing my sweatshirt and tagged me. This was groundbreaking and amazing. I could not believe it. I ran into our other bedroom. My husband was playing video games, and I fell to my knees and I was like, look, Stassi posted wearing my sweatshirt. It makes me want to cry thinking about this moment because, this is my dream. My absolute dream. Cha-ching noises were going off every 2 seconds, and I started off on Instagram with 100 followers, and then it was growing to 2,000, more than 2,000. Like, thinking about this moment, I have to really think about it, because this was the moment my life changed. So that was at 11 p.m. I ended up staying up till 3 o'clock that morning to look at everything and see everything go through. It was so overwhelming and happy, and it was amazing. The next night, me and my husband went out to dinner, and the whole evening my phone was going off, ka-ching, ka-ching, and I will forever remember that moment. So then it set in that I was going to have to make all of these orders. I think there was around 700 orders, and I have to make every order by hand. After I thought about that a little bit, it got a little bit overwhelming. So I asked my family and friends to help me make all of these shirts. They came at 8 o'clock in the morning. We had someone weeding the vinyl, we had someone pressing the vinyl, we had someone sorting the shirts, someone getting all the orders ready, someone packing the orders. But we literally worked from 8 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and then they all left, and then I stayed up until about 4 a.m. the next morning. I was working all night, going to work, coming home. That's my dream, so I couldn't complain, but it was very taxing on me. So I finally got caught up on all of the first crazy rush, and things kind of went back to normal, but I was still getting orders every day, probably 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 orders a day, and I would come home, make the orders, never sleep. It was really insane. Then it rolls around to Stassi's boyfriend's birthday, and she posted my photo in her feed. It was so much more insane than her posting it in her story. I had more and more orders. It was very overwhelming. I got even more orders that round than the first round, and I knew that I couldn't ask my family and friends to help me again, so I knew I needed to outsource. So I found a screen printer in town that I liked, and I was sending him hundreds and hundreds of orders a day. He thought it was crazy. And now I actually own a screen printer. Me and my husband bought it, so we make all of our shirts here. But that would have been really convenient in the earlier rounds. All of these orders were coming in, and I knew I was making mistakes because I'm a one-woman show, and people are asking me to change their address, change their size, color, all of that. And I started getting really overwhelmed. I wasn't able to execute it in a perfect way, and it was really getting to me, and it was affecting me at work. And I wanted to quit, but I was thinking, what if all this stopped and then I didn't have a job? And I finally came to my breaking point whenever we moved to our house. So So I was moving, I was having to complete all of these crazy orders, I was still having to go to work, and I finally lost it. And I went to my boss crying, saying that I need to quit. So I put in my 2 weeks, and I was working half days. I was coming home, and I have this office now that I went from a crammed apartment to now having an office where I can work in my home, and it is really so amazing. So it's crazy to think that one person changed my life forever. And I don't like to give all of the credit to her because I put in a lot of hard work to get where I am now. But I pushed through, and it was very miserable for a lot of days. But I've been in business for a year now. I am still very successful, and that was my fear, that I wouldn't still be successful having a office in my home, having employees, and fully living out my dream.